the foremost, sub to the channel, subscribe. We here, we're live. Jordan in the building. We talking Invisalign, Caitlin Clark,
How,
and a bunch of bullshit.
how's it going?
Everything's
How's it
good.
going, man?
First
Good.
things first. Stephanie White was introduced as the Indianapolis Fever. Y'all know how I love saying Indianapolis. The Indiana Fever head coach, Stephanie White. She was introduced today. She had a lot of glowing remarks to say. Caitlin Clark was in the building. I'm gonna just play this clip right
Another
here.
level.
This is what she had to say about Caitlin and Aaliyah and growing with the team.
And excited. I'm so humbled, so thankful, grateful, and excited to lead this franchise and taking it to another level. You know, you've got incredibly talented players right here in Caitlin and Aaliyah and Lexi, a team that was incredibly fun to watch, very tough to game plan against. So I'm glad I'm going to get to work with you guys, with you ladies, instead of having to think about how to stop you. The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. Really excited, really looking forward to this, and can't wait to get started.
So there were a lot of smiles, a lot of admiration, a lot of excitement for obviously the new head coach of the Indianapolis Fever.
Look at
And
that.
I know it's Indiana. Of the Indiana Fever and Stephanie White. Here she is pictured with Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and Caitlin Clark. All three of them were in attendance for her press conference. That is very telling for the fact that they were there in the building. No, she didn't say Kelsey and was good, King. She didn't mention Kelsey. Because why? Aaliyah, Lexi, and Caitlin were in the building for her press conference. She had a lot to say about this team. Kelly Kroskoff had a lot to say about Stephanie White. There's a lot of excitement in the building. I'll read this one quote that I thought was really really glowing. So Kelly Kroskoff in her opening statement said this about Stephanie White. She is basketball royalty in the state of Indiana, and for me, it was about bringing in a proven leader. So the fact that she said that, it made me think about Christy Sides, which she also brought up. And she talked about how Christy Sides did the job and she left it in better hands than she was given. And she said she was thankful for that moment. And there was a lot, she said. Essentially, Jordan, she was saying what I thought. The timeline has been accelerated for the Indiana Fever.
Yep.
And for me, that means they want to win a championship in the next 2 to 3 years. So she talked about also bringing in veteran players to fit around this team, and then Stephanie, there was a lot. There was a lot in this press conference. Stephanie White talked about how she wants to play more up tempo.
Yeah.
She doesn't care if they hit. Not that she doesn't care, but she wants them to reach a higher defensive level. She doesn't need them to be the best defense in the league, but she needs them to just get marginally better.
Yes.
She talked about Kelly Kroskoff. She talked about bringing in veterans. She likes having veterans around the team. She gave a lot of similarities to Tamika Catchings and Caitlin Clark for the simple fact that they're both the focal points of this team. She called both of them, Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, highly intellectual players, and they're really looking. This is looking like I asked the question: do you see them being contenders in the next? I already said it. I already know that they think in championship in the next 2 to 3 years. I don't know about 5-6 years on your timeline, but they're looking to get a deep playoff run soon.
I think they could compete for a championship, not this coming year, but the year after. They still need to add maybe a couple more pieces, especially on the defensive end. I thought people have said before they need more vets. I mean, that'd be nice as well. I mean, everybody's got an extra year under their belt. Caitlin's going into her second year, and I think towards the end of the year, after the All-Star break, her and the rest of the team really started to gel together. So I think they're going to do really well this coming year. I see them making it to the second round of the playoffs. I think Stephanie White's going to do a great job. Christy Sides, just like her tweet, just like her post said, she left it in a better spot than when she found it. I mean, she found it at 13 wins. They won 20 this year. I mean, I could see the Fever winning 25 plus games this coming year and doing really well.
So this is also where Kelly Kroskoff. There's a lot. So, and make sure everybody on TikTok double tap the screen. We got 13 of y'all. We had 17. Let's see if we can get some more. The only problem is after a new CBA next season is going to result in super teams with jumping salaries. I appreciate the legs, Jordan.
Pressure situations.
What you had to say.
You know, I watched her as a player. I want to talk first just about why she's here and why she's a perfect choice for us. A couple of things. You know, first of all, she's basketball royalty in the state of Indiana. Let's just start there. But, you know, for me, it was really about bringing a proven leader, somebody who has great experience in tough moments, great experience in playoff moments, in high pressure situations. You know, I watched her as a player. I watched her as a coach. She knows how to take those moments and never get too high, never get too low. Just a high basketball intellect. The way that she communicates with her players is very impressive. I feel fortunate, really, that we're sitting here and that we have this chance to, at this pivotal time, to really go back to work and finish some unfinished business that we had from 2015 when we left that one hanging. But super happy to be here, and I want to say welcome to her family. Her mother and 2 sisters are here. Say welcome to our players. We have Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull here. Very happy to see you guys. And then I want to pass it over to Amber Cox. You guys haven't formally met her, our new COO GM.
I'm going to just pause it right there. So I love the fact that Caitlin was there, Aaliyah was there, Lexi was there, in attendance. I mean, obviously they didn't have to go. They didn't have to go at all. But the fact that they were in the building and they kind of spoke, I mean, they kind of met their new coach. It was just awesome to see that. And like, they're really supporting this franchise. And they're growing something in Indiana. Mike said this: the Fever will get 28 wins with the schedule and new coach, free agent plus draft will give them 30 plus wins. We'll see. You know, if they win 8 more games than they did the previous season, that's an amazing improvement.
That'd be incredible, because that'd be a 15-win jump in 2 years, more than doubling their wins in 2023. I think that's the Fever core. I think that's what the Fever think their core is, which is Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hall, and of course Caitlin Clark. And it's a pretty good core, you know. I think that I think they're all gonna make a big jump next year. All 3 of them as players individually. It'd be really cool to see her play up tempo, because I feel like Stephanie White is able to really extract all the potential of whatever team she's coaching, which is just, I mean, that'd be great. Because I mean, last year she took that Connecticut team as far as it was gonna go. Like,
she did it the second time too.
Dude, she took them 5 games against that great Minnesota Lynx team. That's as far as they were going, man. And she, you know, I think she'll be able to do that for the Fever also.
I think they refer to the core as CC, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell. I think what Jordan's trying to say is that Lexi Hull's a little bit younger and she'll be there longer than Kelsey Mitchell will be, which is why he's calling her the core. But yes, I kind of disagree. I think obviously Kelsey Mitchell is more important, but I understand what you're saying when you say the core. Like, the 3 of them aren't going anywhere.
Well, I mean, you know, I mean, maybe I'm looking into this a little bit, but I wonder if this is foreshadowing of the eventual move of Kelsey Mitchell. That's why she's not there, you know.
Well, you don't know what she's playing overseas. She's in China right now. Kelsey Mitchell's playing.
Yeah, I know, but you know, I mean, this is who they intend the core to be, in my estimation.
So Tracy said she confirmed that they're getting rid of Smith. I was on the conference and they didn't say anything about trading Melissa Smith at all. Like, I was literally sitting in. They didn't say anything about getting rid of Melissa. So I don't know. What they did say, though, is they want to bring in, and this is interesting. So she talked about having Tamika Catchings, and what Kelly Kroskoff said is they want to bring in more veteran players around this team. They're in a win now mode. And I've been saying this for a minute. As soon as I realized they fired Christy Sides, I said they're trying to win now, like tomorrow, like as a next season. So they want to so you can expect the Tina Charles to be courted by the Indiana Fever. You can, like I've been saying since almost 6 months now, you can expect the Neko Gumake to get courted by the Indiana Fever.
Right.
You can expect anyone, Natasha Cloud, and I'm not going to Tisha Heidemann. Any one of these veteran players that are looking to win that they can get on a good deal. This is another thing that Kelly Kroskoff had to say. And appreciate the likes, y'all. We have 600. Let's see if we can get to 1,000. And then let's see if we get to 2,000. Appreciate y'all. Another thing that Kelly Kroskoff had to say was that they want to have the ability to bring in more players that can – this is Stephanie White – that can complement their players, right? So instead of having like the 15 best players in the WNBA assemble on one team, she said this quote, connected teams win. And she genuinely believes that connected teams win. And what she means by that is just having teams that actually fit pieces versus just having an assembly of talent. That's essentially the bigger issue or bigger question. The hate for Nilissa Smith is crazy. Definitely win now, so Smith is gone. I don't honestly think that. I mean, we'll see, but we'll have to honestly see. Still think the next season. So better question, Jordan. What do you think next season's expectations are? Because June Doll, and shout out to June Doll in the UK. Next season's expectation is too high. What do you feel like the expectations are?
I think the expectation is the second round of the playoffs.
Second round of the playoffs. Do you think that that's what they're thinking? I wish somebody. I didn't get the chance to ask that question, but I wish I would have had that.
Is that what I mean? I mean, they're probably thinking championship. I'm assuming they always think, that, I mean, these are all, talented players and, a organization that's looking towards championship. I mean, they probably assume that they'll compete for a championship. My expectations for them is I expect them to make it to the second round of the playoffs, given that Caitlin's in her second year and they're a super talented team with a really good coach. I see them in the second round. Also, Vegas got a little bit worse. I mean, we're gonna get to this in a second with Tyler Marsh, leaving, but I mean, that's 2 assistant coaches now that the Vegas Aces have lost. You know, they've lost the Valkyries
Natalie
Kase, and now they've lost Marsh also. So that bench is getting a little bit thin for Becky Hammond over there. So I mean, effectively, I expect them to kind of take a step back, and I expect the Fever to fill that, like top 4 spot.
Yeah, and the thing is, I expect with this Indiana team, like, this is a lot. So she, again, even with Christy Sides getting fired, or losing her job rather, it wasn't like Kelly Kroskoff was upset. She just, like I told you, when a GM gets hired, when a president gets hired, they're going to want to hire their own GM, their own coach. They're going to want to do things their own way and lose with their own style of play, right?
Yeah.
She dismissed Christy Sides because she felt like, honestly, Stephanie White could get the job done. And she just wants to see how this team progresses under White. The Indiana Fever, they outplayed expectations by getting into the playoffs. Even though Caitlin was saying playoffs, and everybody was expecting it, when they were 1-7, people outside of myself, most people, I was thinking they're still going to get there. But most people weren't thinking that they were going to do anything, right?
Right.
Now they got there. They got to the playoffs. They have a rookie that's playing on a level she's not even all. She's playing like nobody's ever played in the WNBA ever. Offensively, there's never been a guard. I'm going to repeat it. Offensively, there has never been a guard that has played at this high of a level in WNBA history. And President Kelly, she understands that. And she's like, shit, we need to maximize this now. Because who knows what will happen in the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Let's win right now. And this is one of the things that I loved what she had said. So, like, now I think I'm going to ask you this, Jordan. So she said that similar to Tyrese Halliburton, because obviously Kelly Kroskoff was working with the Indiana Pacers.
With the Pacers, yeah.
She said that Caitlin and Tyrese are very similar because they can both elevate a team.
Right.
Who would you rather have for the next 2 years? I'm going to say 2 years. Caitlin Clark or Tyrese Halliburton?
I would rather have. I think I'd rather have Caitlin Clark.
I would rather have Clark too.
I'd rather have Caitlin Clark.
and this is crazy, right? Because like I'm like, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, President Kelly, and she's being genuine and she's being nice. But I'm like, Clark is playing at a level Halliburton has never played on, and it's not like Halliburton. I think if y'all know me, y'all know I think Tyrese Halliburton is. I think we had this debate. I think he was better than John Morant, and I still will kind of lean Halliburton over Morant, even though I like Morant. But
that's okay.
It's true. I mean, you tell me what we could get into that debate later, but you tell me what Ja does better than Tyrese, honestly.
All of
it. I mean, one of who just made the Olympic team. Okay.
Because
just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind.
What an interest. Okay.
I mean, look, we can pull up the stats between John and Tyrese. We can pull up the stats between John Tyrese. We've done this though. We've done this. But what I'm ultimately trying to say is that they have the best point guard in the game of basketball
Yes.
in their backyard in Caitlin. And the fact that they have Caitlin there, they're
Yes.
trying to just, again, maximize the amount of talent that's around her, bring in veterans. I have no clue what they're thinking of. This is the other thing I wanted to think of. Who are the other candidates if they weren't able to get White? That's the question that
That's
they would have never answered. She would have never answered that question.
That's a great question. You know, I also think one other point to bring up about kind of, you know, the Vegas Aces, I think, are going to take a step back this year. But you just took Stephanie White off the Connecticut Sun, you know, and that's another team that finished ahead of the Fever as well this year. So, you know, now you have like two teams that are going to be a little bit weaker. Also, both of those teams get a little bit older because they were already a little bit older than the Fever anyway. So I could see them, you know, that's another step, you know, I can see them jumping up for as well.
Yeah, they're gonna be great. And just the fact that this is the other thing I liked hearing from Stephanie White. So she spoke about they want to play up tempo, but they also want to have structure in the half court. That was something that she stressed. They want to have structure in the half court, and they also want to play more creatively when they're in the half court. She's looking forward. She like the amount of praise that she gave Caitlin, Aaliyah, and Lexi. So she called Caitlin, obviously, and she called Aaliyah this too. She actually called Aaliyah. This is Kelly Kroskoff. She said Aaliyah is one of the most smartest players or highly intellectual players in the game, and Caitlin Clark is there. Stephanie White said the fact that we have one of the cornerstone point guard and a cornerstone center, we have everything that we need, and then we just need to fill it out around them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like there was just this picture got so much aura. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the likes, y'all. Double tap the screen. Let's see if we can get more. But they're like that press conference was really that was just I felt like it was just like a turning of a page, like from the Christy Sides phase of the Indiana Fever to the I'm not gonna say more professional, but just like it just seems like they're on their shit. Like they're like on their shit now, and they're trying to be on their shit. Like I don't know how to put this in better words, honestly, y'all. But like they're just trying to be on top of their game.
I know what you mean, and I think it's kind of like it's kind of like emblematic of like, I mean, we had so many coaching vacancies like last week that every single team is trying to improve their situation. Every single team thinks that they could kind of I mean, I don't want to say like fix everything, but you know, everyone's like trying as hard as they can now. And it's great that, I mean, like you have Caitlin Clark, this gigantic superstar on the most popular team, and you have and now you have a organization that gets that, and they're trying to go all in. This is literally perfect. This is literally great. You know, this is what we want.
I want to read this. 0-12 in the playoff. I'm gonna read some of these comments. 0-12 in the playoffs is crazy work. Edits. Who are you talking about? 25, 12, and 8. If that's her stat line next season, 25, 12, and 8, she's the MVP. She'll win MVP. If she averages 25, 12, and 8, that's an MVP candidate. And if she's able to do that in her second year, talking about Caitlin Clark, that's crazy. If she puts up 25, 12, and 8, y'all heard it first, she's winning MVP. I'm telling you right now. If she puts up a double-double with 25 and 12, she's going to win MVP. And 8 assists, she's winning MVP for sure.
Yeah.
King, we're going to talk about Juju soon, I promise you. See, I love CC, but please stop if the threes aren't going in. Not going to lie, she cost us points in the playoff. I appreciate the likes, y'all. Let me read Golden Clark. That's a cool nickname. Better defense. CC going to average 12 plus assists. If she does that, that'd be incredible. I'm like, not good. That'd be incredible because she's breaking her own record by 4 plus assists. That'd be insane. Crazy. About to get y'all player card taken with the Halliburton. I don't know. I mean, I love John Morant. Yeah, like let me get back to this right quick because a lot of them are flaming me. I love John Morant. I think he's a great player. I'm not taking anything away from John Morant. But if you look at most of the numbers lean to Halliburton. And the fact that Tyrese Halliburton has had would you rather have Jaren Jackson Jr. or insert any player from the Indiana Pacers? Yeah, I mean, I would rather have Jaren Jackson Jr. over Pascal. And I like Spicy P. Yeah, I would. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a defensive player of the year candidate every single year, and he could get you 20 and 10. I like Spicy P, but he ain't. I mean, like he's not. He's a good player. He's not.
I don't know, man. I mean, this is a debate for another day, but
we'll bring that back.
Kind of widely understood that conference finals run last year was kind of fraudulent.
Yeah, but you say it's fraudulent, but they were still there. And John Morant has he been in a conference final? Thank you. That's more of my point, Jordan. That's more of my point.
I think he has, Jabari.
No, he has not. He has not been in a conference finals. No, he has not.
Bro, you beat the Bucks without Giannis, and then you beat the New York Knicks that are literally run to the ground by Tom Thibodeau, and everybody gets injured. Come on, man.
Yeah, Morose.
Come on, Jabari.
People like style over substance. Katie, thank you. I love the fact that Ja can jump over the moon and do X, Y. Like, I love it. Don't get me twisted. But I want to see somebody that plays. He could average 20. If Tyrese averaged 20 assists in a game, which he can, like, it would not surprise me. Like, he is a great. Y'all are underrating this man. He is a damn. It's because he like playing in the snow. They like to underrate him. It's true.
I'm not
underrating. He likes to play in the snow. Y'all like to underrate this young man. But he can hoop. That man can hoop.
My goodness. This is insane. All right.
It's true. I mean, like a lot of people, especially in my culture, they be hating on Tyrese because of that. And I'm like, whatever.
I love Tyrese Halliburton. My culture loves him too, okay? I don't know. Chinese people.
I'm talking more about the comments.
Bro, we love Tyrese Halliburton, okay? Don't even.
Goat Lynn will have a 50 ball. I can see her not playing in snow. Bean, I hear you. I heard Cameron talking about that today, so it came to my brain. But it's true. I mean, the man can hoop. So I'll probably will go Halliburton over John. But I mean, I don't even know how we got to that subject. But the point I was trying to say is that Indiana's in a win now mode, and they're looking to make sure that they get this job done. I honestly could see them competing for. I told y'all this on my live a few days ago. I could see them competing for chips in the next 2 to 3 years. I feel like they need to bring in 2-3 more pieces.
Yeah.
And they're right in the thick of it.
Right there.
All right. Let's move. Speaking of competing, let's speak about Tyler Marsh. The Chicago Sky. The Chicago Sky just picked up their newest head coach, Tyler Marsh. He hasn't had his press conference yet, but I do want to speak about him. So I'll read this. He's already been with the Las Vegas Aces. Jackie Young has credited him ad nauseum for the fact that he's been able to help her with her three-point shooting.
Yeah. And
she's shooting almost 40%. Since he's been there, she used to shoot like 20 attempts a game or a year. She's now over 70, and she's shooting over 40%. What are your thoughts about this Tyler Marsh hire for the Chicago Sky?
I think Jundo just kind of laid it out perfectly, as succinctly as possible. This guy is perfect for developing Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese. This is kind of what you're looking for right now. I mean, the Chicago Sky have so much talent on this team, and they just need the right person to develop these players and bring it all together. And I think this is about as good of a hire on the market as you're going to get, I don't know why, but the first thing I thought of was how this actually weakens the Aces, how they kind of lost such a great assistant coach, that with Nakase, on the Valkyries. I just that's actually the first thing that came in my head. But I think this is a great pickup for the Sky, and hopefully he's able to get the most out of some of these players.
Speaking of getting the most out of players, this is what he had to say before he actually was hired by the Sky. He was speaking about Angel Reese. These are some of his tweets. You can't really teach Angel Reese's feel for offensive rebounding.
Right.
The future of the Chicago Sky is in good hands, young and tough, and don't give a blank about anybody's opinions other than their own. You got to respect it. Right. Drastic difference in Angel Reese's footwork when patient versus being rushed. Been on point today. Keep feeding her. Tyler Marsh has a lot of glowing words, and I think they're going to be great under his leadership.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how if you don't know this, three things actually. He won a championship already with the Toronto Raptors when Kawhi Leonard was on the team. He was an assistant video coordinator and a player development coach. So the fact that he has that under his pedigree, that is literally what propelled him to go into the Indiana Pacers team. And then obviously he got the job with the Las Vegas Aces, and now he's with the Chicago Sky. And like I mentioned with Jackie Young got better under his tutelage. Asia Wilson also got better under its tutelage. Those are two players that both credit Tyler Marsh for the fact that they are where they're at now. And they're kind of sad. Sidney Colson, and I'll briefly speak about Sidney Colson. Sydney Colson was speaking about the fact that they're upset that they lost Coach Marsh. The same thing with Tiffany Hayes, Asia Wilson. A lot of people are upset about losing Coach Marsh in this building because I mean he's an integral piece of the team.
Yep.
And it
hard to measure.
goes back to what you're saying,
Impact.
Jordan. The fact that he's not there anymore, but he helped this team become what they were.
Yeah.
Like even as an assistant coach, is kind of sad. And we'll see how they kind of go in the future. I'm talking about Chicago, but for me, I feel like it's only a matter of time before they start winning. Because if he's able to help Jackie Young, obviously do what she's been able to do and turn herself into an Olympian, turn herself into an all-star type of point guard, it's only a matter of time before my Angel Reese MVP pick becomes more into fruition. That's how I kind of honestly feel about this. And like the fact that she's there with him and he's already called her and contacted her.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean, he's already left her glowing reviews before even being the coach there, right? And then like, I mean, if you go back to Teresa Weatherspoon, like I think the best thing she did was she was able to kind of connect with the players that she was given. You know, she was able to develop a strong connection with them. It seems like Tyler. I mean, first of all, for him to get hired, he needs to be like Angel Reese has to sign off on that. I mean, I'm assuming that she has to sign off before he is hired and brought in. So she signs off on it. He already has a great relationship with her. I mean, it's like he's able to cultivate the best parts of what Teresa Witherspoon was bringing, but also he's able to develop them as players now. It's just the best of both worlds for this guy.
Yes. So already on his first day of as soon as he got hired, one of his first orders of business was to contact Angel Reese and tell her, you know, just to speak to her and say, hey, I got the job. I'm your new head coach, X, Y, and Z. Angel immediately tweeted, we got a W, and the fact that she got Tyler Marsh as her head coach. So I'm excited. Like I've been saying, I'm excited to see what Mike said. Cardoso will be an MVP candidate before Angel Reese. What do you think about that, Jordan? I'm gonna let you go to that one first.
She's a great offensive player, and that generally, you know, those are the people that win most valuable player usually. I don't know, but I think Angel Reese brings so much that I don't know, man. I don't know if either of them are ever going to be an MVP, but I think Reese would probably get it before Cardoso.
I mean, I'm saying that because she brings more. Like Camilla's Mike, we'll see, but I just feel like Angel right now at this point in history brings more. Now I'm not saying that Camilla is not going to be an MVP candidate, but what I am saying is I can see Angel obviously getting the job done and becoming that. We'll see. Angel can be all defensive first team if she sticks to what she does best. And if you're all defensive first team, then you're automatically in the candidate. Cardoso is more the mold of Jonquel, who was an MVP candidate. Yeah, but she doesn't really step outside of the perimeter. So I wouldn't really go that far yet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Let's be real. They were going to be top head coaching candidates. They were absolutely top head coaching candidates. Angel not letting Camilla get an MVP. You funny. KG's funny with that.
Dude, KG's so funny.
Yeah, I hear you. But no, I do expect Angel to get one, and this is what I was gonna say. I expect her to get better, and everybody. So the first order of business, if you're Tyler Marshall, outside, he already contacted Angel, is making sure Kennedy Carter comes back into the fold.
Right.
They have got to make sure that they re-sign Kennedy Carter to Chicago, and he has got to get her. I'm not saying she wasn't focused, but just having a focused and locked-in Kennedy Carter will do wonders to this team. Because Jordan, you ranked her as 15, I ranked her as 21. So we both agree she's one of the 25 best players in the WNBA. I have her as the 7th best guard.
Yep.
They can bring Kennedy Carter back, bring her focused, and get her, to where she is. Even just to continue from last season. She's putting up 17 points per game on 50% shooting. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If you could bring that back, the sky is the limit, right? The sky is the limit for this team. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with the two of them in that roster. Can Marsh turn Angel into a solid stretch 4? We'll see. I think that's the goal that he's trying to work on. I don't know if she has to be a stretch 4 next season completely, but she has to have the ability to kind of knock down shots when she's open outside. But let's not even worry about. What I want to see from Angel next year is obviously not shooting 42% at the rim and finishing her layups. And like he said, with the patient footwork versus being rushed. I know that I'm not worried about her in her game. I know she's gonna get it together, and she'll like. I've already seen enough from Angel Reese. I'm good with her. Like I know she's gonna get the ish together. Like I'm not worried about her. Now, if you're talking about just being a stretch 4 next year when she has a broken hand, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna worry about that for next year. The only thing I want to see from her is more footwork and just more development in the paint. And then obviously, if she can knock down some outside shots, and that obviously is a plus. But I'm not honestly worried about Angel and her work ethic and her game at all. I'm not worried about that at all. Excuses already. How is that an excuse? She got a broken hand. She's not shooting. Think about it. She's not shooting a basketball. Like it's gonna be other parts of her game.
Just full of excuses.
Yeah, I know, right? She should play out there with remember, for the record, she hit a 3 while her hand was broken. So just keep that in mind, right? Just keep that in mind. She's recovering from surgery. She'll be playing in Unrivaled. She'll be recovering. I don't want to she'll be fine. I'm not worried about injuries in her game. I haven't been since day one. She did it to Angel and Alyssa. Can't practice dribbling shots on the offhand. Yeah, but which hand is she gonna shoot on? You're too good of a basketball mind to say this type of stuff. Like she's not gonna be shooting with her right hand if she's a left-handed shooter. Why would she be practicing with her right hand? It's not beneficial for her or nor her game. But speaking of Angel Reese, her Cocoa Puffs, her Reese's Puffs.
So cool.
Yes, her Reese's Puffs cereal have hit the shelves. Jordan, what are your thoughts on this? We've already had some people in our chat that have been buying these things up. They called her the double queen in her Reese's box. What are your thoughts on this? And again,
have you ever had this Reese's Puff cereal?
I am not a Reese's Puff person, but I'm gonna let
cereal is so fire. First of all, Reese's in general is like, it was on ESPN. They put it at number 1 on Mount Rushmore,
really?
or pyramid of candies for Halloween. Like for Halloween, if you get a candy, the ideal number 1 candy you want is a Reese's cup.
I didn't know
that. I think this is awesome, man.
It is.
Wait, this is good.
So speaking of brand deals, I don't like Reese's. A lot of people are saying, which
Dude,
if you don't, that's okay. I'm not a huge Reese's fan. Like I've never really had them, honestly. Yeah, talk. If you got Reese's, talk about them.
Reese's is the best chocolate, man. It's good for. It's savory. It's got texture. It's got ridges. It's good for soft teeth. I make a lot of money off of it. Yeah.
Reese's cereal breakdown.
but this is great for real.
It is, obviously, we love to see it. I love to see it. The fact that she got it, yeah. And obviously, it's great for just the expansion of the women's basketball game. And Angel. I think this goes back to what we were saying when we were speaking about just superstars and like who wants to be more marketable. She's absolutely everywhere off the court, which is awesome to see. Just again, shout out to Angel for getting this on the Reese's box. I would like to have her in her jersey on the box. I think Chicago will want a piece of that, so they couldn't do that. So I don't think they would want to do that. We don't really get Reese's in the UK. I'm sorry to hear that, y'all. I don't really, If y'all like Reese's, shout out to y'all that like Reese's. But I just love the fact that Angel was on the cover of this box. So shout out to Angel for that. Definitely wanted to get your 2 cents on that.
I think it's like it's kind of full circle, right? Also, like she didn't get invited to Team USA, but she still found her way onto a cereal box.
Good point. Speaking of boxes, this was a great game to watch. I'm gonna let Schwab play in the highlight. Judea Watkins. Her nickname is Juju for everybody in the game. But Judea Watkins had an amazing game today. Well, I'll say, if I had to rank her, I'd probably give her like a B+. She had 9 turnovers and 4 assists, but she still played really great. And I feel like Juju Watkins, she got a huge victory against a top-ranked team in Ole Miss. This was a nail biter. They were up by 15 in the half, and then Ole Miss started chipping away. But obviously they got the win. So USC got a big a neutral site win. There goes Juju with a sick pull-up 3. I mean, there ain't nothing to this woman. She could play in the WNBA right now, and I'll say this. Yeah, she could play in the WNBA right now, and I don't need to see any. Like, if I'm her, you could go take a seat for 2 years and just wait to get called number 1. She could play in the WNBA right now. Yeah, there's nothing that young woman can't do on the court. Yep. The only thing that she has to improve on is, and this goes back to the coaching. She has got to get better with the ball in her hand, meaning like not trying to press too much. She had she had 9 turnovers. That's too. You know how I feel about turnovers. If your assist to turnover ratio is less than a 2-to-1, it's an issue. And if you're a guard, she was at -2. You know what I'm saying? Like she had 9 turnovers and 4 assists. That's not good. Last season, her freshman year, she averaged more turnovers than assists. That is the only thing negative you're gonna hear me say about Juju ever. I mean, well, especially this game. 27 points, pull up threes. She got to the rim. She was attacking in the mid range. She got to the free throw. Offensively, there's nothing in this young woman's game that's not there. She can do anything on this court, and there was nothing. She had 5 blocks, Jordan. She had 5 blocks as a guard. Name the last time you seen a perimeter-oriented guard have 5 blocks. I don't even know Dwayne. I was thinking Dwayne Wade. I was thinking Dwayne Wade, Jordan. As soon as I said it, I was thinking Dwayne Wade. But the fact that, like, she's 20, bro. Like this young, or 19, like this young woman is going to be amazing. Like if you give her a coach, and I'm not saying Lindsay Gottlieb is a bad coach. If you give her a coach that does not have to have the ball in her hands every single possession to score, this USC team is stacked. Kiki Iriafen had, I want to say, like 22 points. Yeah. Kennedy Smith, who was a freshman coming from a McDonald's All-American, she had like 10 or 12 points. Like I'm not saying USC is gonna win a chip, but this team is just legit. And Juju is the end. Yeah, Juju is the end.
She's just so like talented and aggressive, and she's got like the feel, and I kind of like. I mean, like 9 turnovers is just way too much, but I like how aggressive she is because. And same thing for Caitlin too. It's like they get turnovers because they're aggressive, because they're trying, because they think they could beat any situation that you throw at them, and they think they could beat you. And I like that quality that they're willing to try anything. I like the aggression, and she'll figure it out, and she'll cut down on that naturally. But I mean, look at that. Look, look at those blocks.
I mean, like the moves she's making to score against 19-year-olds.
It's so savvy. It's so like wise, and she has such a good feel for everything.
Yes, absolutely. She has Juju. The fact that again, 20, and she had a double-double, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks, 4 assists. She a stat sheet filler. And she had a bloody nose, and she's still giving buckets. Like this game was so some of the credit. Ole Miss almost won this game. Ole Miss almost won this game. And I want to read this from Mike. Olivia Miles just had a triple-double. This new era of women's basketball is just insane. Olivia Miles is a point guard for the University of Notre Dame. And the fact that she's been like a lot of people saying that she's going to be one of the best point guards to leave this draft outside of Paige. Hannah Hidalgo is another great guard that plays for Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. Like this class is stacked. We're gonna see like what they're doing in the W, and it's gonna be really exciting to see how they just phase into this next part of their careers. So, and then let's speak about. So, and I want to read this too before I get into that. And I'm not gonna read this. I'll read it. I'll put this up. She got called for a technical foul on this play, Jordan. I want you to look at this play and tell me what you think. So I forget who this is on Ole Miss, but she's coming to get a layup. She blocks her shot, and then she taunts. Like, what are you doing? Right? And then she gets a foul. She gets a tech. What are your thoughts about that? And just the fact that she got a tech in that situation.
I don't know. Like I don't know what the lines are, anymore for what's considered confrontational, unnecessary. Like I don't know, man. I don't know what they were thinking. It's like depending on what ref you get, you're gonna get a different call. So I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think it should have been a tech, but I don't know anything nowadays. Like I don't know, dude.
Speaking of not knowing, Jordan, KG was saying Paige Bueckers could catch up to Caitlin, and after watching this game against Fort Hayes, look, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he's right, but I'm definitely not going to say he's wrong. Paige Bueckers had an amazing game. 27 points on 14 field goals, 12 of 14. I want you to just take a look at like the glory she's putting on
Yeah, but
This
she
is,
missed 2 shots though, Jambari. She
I
missed
know,
2
right?
shots.
I
So
mean, I
she's
don't know who
still.
Fort Hayes State is, but Paige showed that she can play.
I've never, bro. When you
I have
play
never heard of this
Madden
team.
and
I've
you
never heard of
create a
it.
player, I'm pretty sure you can't create that player to be from Fort Hayes State. So
Hey, the chat is mad. Come on, chat. Don't do that to me. Paige played y'all. If y'all can't just literally look at this game and tell me she ain't that damn good, I'm not saying she's not, but if you can't look at this and tell me she ain't that damn good, y'all, come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, I'm not, again, KG was saying that Paige got a chance, and it's not just KG. Mickey Reese is another one that's saying Paige got a chance to look. I don't expect Paige to hit first team all WNBA next year. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what their thoughts about Paige Bueckers. I'm not like once I watched this game, I was like, damn, maybe I'm crazy in this situation. That's how I honestly took a look at this because I'm like, she played amazing. Like she didn't play good, she played amazing.
it seems that I mean, because like I caught a couple of minutes of this. She seems just more assertive this year, and I
Yes,
think that
yes,
I think that has what's been missing for the past couple of years. It's like everyone can see it, but it's like just do it, Paige. Just like you're just better than everybody else. Just be the person that we see. And now she's I mean, it's Fort Hayes State, you know, but I guess a D2 team according to Traskey. But that's what we want. This is what we want to see.
yes. I do want to see this 27 9-2 with she filled the stat sheet, only missed 85% shooting, and like this is insane. These numbers are insane, honestly, y'all. I like when I watched this, I'm like, oh my god, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe KG was right. That's what I was thinking. Maybe KG was right about this one for real. Like, I'm excited to see her last season at UConn. I am, and I want to see how that kind of. And UConn has a bunch of hoopers: Azizi Fudd, Caitlin Chen. There's a lot of other players I can't think of. I forget. There's Slade is on this team. Like they got a lot of players.
Maybe just maybe everyone these days is just better than everybody in the past.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Everybody in the absolutely.
Like in general, players are better. Like we just shouldn't be surprised by this stuff anymore.
I'm forget points. Paige wants a championship. Abina, I hear everything you're saying. When it comes to NCAA championships, I don't really care. I'm gonna be real. I don't care.
Oh,
like,
you don't care? Okay, so Angel
no.
Reese.
Let me put it in the vacuum.
Don't
Let me
even.
put it in the vacuum.
Oh,
Let me put it
no.
in the vacuum. Let me put it in the vacuum. Like KG talked about
You
in
said
context,
you said it
right?
definitively.
I mean, I don't like. For me, it's not that be all end all. Is what I'm trying to say. Let's go there. I when it comes to like collegiate performance, like because it matters so much on recruiting versus like what your talent is and et cetera, et cetera. So like that, I'm putting it in a vacuum. You gonna try and hate on Angel Reese? That's what you're gonna try and do?
No, but I'm not trying to hate on Angel Reese, but you just said that you don't care, that you don't put much value on a college championship. I frequently hear you defending Angel Reese because she won a college championship. She averaged 23 and 15 and won a college championship.
That right there. Stay right there. Stay right there, Jordan. That's the more important
favorite line.
That's my point. That's more important.
Your favorite line, but now
That's
you say college championships don't matter.
Not that part. The fact that she averaged 23 and 15 and led her team to win a chip. That's what I'm saying. So what I want to see if you're a player playing with 5 or 6 other great players, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I'm not gonna. Oh, okay, great, you won a championship. Like I love that.
I mean,
but if you are the focal point, if you are the focal point, putting up 23-15 and getting the dub, that's different. That's not what I'm referring to.
We all know. Everybody knows. I know you know. The entire chat knows. College stats are always higher than your pro stats.
College stats are always higher than your pro. I mean, if you're not.
They always are. They always are. They always are because the
Marvin Williams. Like, I could name players with a no. That's not always. That's not true. That's not always true.
In general, it's true.
For the most part, like Chris Paul averaged 14 points a game in college, and then he put up 2010.
Dude, freaking bro.
Like a lot of James Harden, 15. Thompson, a lot of players are like that in college.
In general, they're higher. Like Caitlin Clark, like Juju Watkins 27 rookie season. Juju Watkins will not be averaging 27
I don't
points
know about
per
that.
rookie season in the
Truthfully,
WNBA.
I don't know. I'm not saying she's gonna put up 27. She'll be putting up 20 something in a rookie year. I'm not gonna say that. But the only
27. Okay.
So the chat is the Angel. Look at Angel Reese. She plays nothing like LSU. I disagree with that, Nikki. She playing the same way. She just has to finish her layups. A lot of the chat is mad. You playing for championships? That's not what I'm saying. Y'all missing what I'm saying. What I am saying is, if you're saying the collegiate championship is the end all be all, hey, I'm a winner and you're not. In college, I could okay, cool. I can name a bunch of Villanova. Like I can name a bunch of players that have won rings in college that we don't hear about. So that's not what I care about.
Had a great point. Kelsey Plum averaged 30-something points.
Right. So you can tell me she's a bum because she didn't win a ring? Like I don't care
what I'm
about
saying
that.
is that she averaged 30-something points in college and she averaged a lot less in the pros.
Okay. Right. But okay. So again, ultimately, I try to put it in especially when we're talking about amazing talent or great players. Like I want to see what you did as the focal point of your team. That is more important to me. What did you do? What was your impact to winning as the focal point of your team to either A, help them win, or B, help them not win? That's more important to me. And with a player like Angel, as the focal point of this LSU team, she dominated, period. And she helped them win. But if you're playing on a stacked team, like I expect you to win. So when it comes to the case of Paige Bueckers, I'm not saying she's on a stacked team. What I'm interested in seeing her do, and like what you just said, Jordan, is dominate. I want to see her dominate offensively, get aggressive, and let's see what you do at the end of the season. That's more important to me. Are you that much better head and shoulders than your peers that you're dominating over your peers and winning along those lines? That's more important to me versus just winning. Like anybody can't just win, but I want to see what you do on path to winning.
Just a minor defense of college championships. I think it says something when it's like win or go home. You know, there's only one game, and in basketball, it's literally like if your shot's not falling, you're just gonna lose. You know, and so it is something like it is impressive that Breonna Stewart, even though she was on a stacked team, won 4 rings in 4 years.
Yeah, but she's the focal point. That's my
yeah. That's it. That is really. It is impressive because she only had one chance to win every single game, and she won all 28 games. You know, like
absolutely,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And speaking of crazy, so in a few minutes, the USC women, they're getting ready to play against. I'm USC as in the University of South Carolina. Speaking of stacked teams, Malaysia Fulwiley, Tessa Johnson, Tahina Pow, Joyce Edwards. Chloe Kitts. They are so stacked. Like okay, and you're not gonna hear me say nothing back because I don't care about that. What I'm saying is they're getting ready to play Michigan. If they don't, I feel like they're gonna go undefeated. Raven Johnson, like they are so stacked on that team. If they don't win, it's gonna look like they didn't do what they're supposed to do. But I don't. What I'm saying is ultimately, again, I want to see somebody needs to dominate on the team. I want to see someone dominate. I don't want to just see stacked teams win. Like that's cool. I mean, that's great, but you can't make the case that this player is better than this other player if they're not dominating the competition. What are you saying, Jordan? You seem like you got a lot to say.
I'm just thinking about all those stacked Kentucky teams that could never win a championship.
I know. I feel like it was coaching more so in that situation too. And I like John Calipari, but that's not his. That wasn't his.
Yeah.
His MO was bring everybody and y'all figure it out. And I don't blame Coach Cal for that at all. But because they play with super stacked teams. Jordan, we got closing thoughts. So we spoke about everything. We had something about Sue Bird, speaking about Caitlin Clark, but I'm gonna just gloss over that today. What are your thoughts on this? And we're gonna open up the lines for everybody else. Are we gonna open up the lines?
Closing thoughts. Man, we still got a bunch of vacancies in the WNBA. I'm really curious to see who's gonna fill those. And I'm also curious to see what order they get filled because whoever fills their spot last has last of the options, right? Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to who's going to coach all these teams because there's some talented teams out there.
Can we get a Mark Jackson sighting in the WNBA? Full Wiley over Raven. I agree with you. Just because they are stacked doesn't mean that they'll win. I agree. When a team is stacked, one player doesn't need to dominate. Sonny, I disagree. When a team is stacked, that is exactly when one player needs to dominate. You want to see somebody stand out from the crowd. Like you can't have a stacked team and not have a focal point. Every team is gonna have a focal point. So like I definitely want to see us that somebody has to be a focal point.
I'm definitely the focal point of this live stream.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you.
Definitely doing it.
Notre Dame is gonna be a sleeper hit. We'll see what Notre Dame can be. Abina, I'm with you 1,000% on the full Wiley. She is my absolute favorite player on this team. Followed by Tahina Pau, then followed by Tessa and Raven. And you can flip flop in the order. I'd probably go Raven and then Tessa. And I like Chloe Kitts too. She's a great player. That South Carolina team is stacked. Olivia Miles triple double. I've been hearing a lot about her. Hey, college basketball season is here. We live. She shoots, she scores. This is episode number 46. We here, man. I appreciate you, Jordan. And with that being said, we out the building. We out of the building. I'm gonna open up the lines and we good. Is Moreau Sports, both of y'all, is that y'all name? That's the name of the business, KE. That's the name of the business. Moreau Sports Media. We here.
See it.
Jordan, 7:00. Enjoy yourself tonight.
All right, take care.
I'll open up the phone lines. Let me open up.